Hi, I'm Lori. Welcome to Milkweeds and Roses. Why Milkweeds and Roses? Why the name? Well, I live here in Zone 5 in Iowa, and I grew up on a century livestock and grain farm. And about the only job around at the time was walking beans. That's where I used to walk soybean fields armed with the hoe and pull out weeds by hand. Back then, when we didn't know any better, a lot of those weeds, so-called weeds, were milkweeds. And we all know now the importance of milkweeds, specifically to the monarch butterfly. And the monarch butterfly needs our help. So that's why it's not just up to farmers, but all of us as gardeners to do our part to try to help all pollinators, including the monarch butterfly. And roses, why roses? I really got my love of gardening from my grandma, who grew roses. And she wasn't a master gardener, but she was by far the smartest green thumb that I ever knew. This all started 3 years ago when I retired. And you remember what was going on in 2020. It was a busy time. So all the plans that I had for retirement had to be put on hold, probably same as you. So I found myself here in the backyard realizing, there's a lot I can still do here. So I put my skills as a master gardener to work, and also basically just the farm kid who always loves digging in the dirt to find out what I can do to make my little corner of the world make a difference and make it beautiful and make it fun to hang out in. Not to mention, certainly kept me busy. So there are a lot of different challenges here in my garden. Maybe you have the same. For example, I have a big electrical box in my backyard. There are a lot of reasons why I want to avoid that, but I'd also like to conceal it, whether it's plants or some other strategy, so that's always a challenge. I also have cable boxes and phone in my backyard that have just been here when we moved in. So I look for ways to plant around them, conceal them, yet still allow access as a public right-of-way for folks who need to work on those particular systems, right? So that's another challenge. I have also, from neighbors, a borrowed landscape as they call it, that have planted beautiful evergreen trees that have been here for, 70 years, who knows. But evergreen trees, when you try to plant in them, you realize that's dry shade. It has extensive webbing, the roots, and they've gone all the way into our yard, of course. Again, love the view, love the shade, but you gotta find those planting pockets. And then the neighbor also that I have on the other side has beautiful black walnut trees. Now, black walnut trees put a chemical in the soil to ensure their own sustainability, but it also makes it hard on so many other species and other plants to grow. And that particular juglone in the soil, that chemical, is now coming into our yard. So how do I work around that? That's another challenge. There are plants to grow near those trees, but again, it's a learning curve. So that's another challenge. I also have, in addition to dry shade and working around black walnut trees, I have areas that are boggy in my garden that are always in shade, and areas just across 4 or 5 feet later are full sun. I have a big maple tree in the back that after a big windstorm, half of it went down. So areas that were specifically all shade are now blazing sun. So how do I work around that? So I hope you join me. We'll have fun along the way. You'll meet my little garden friends who are always here helping me out, my little garden gnomes. Yes, they're very cute. So they'll make regular appearances, no doubt. I'm glad that you're here. I hope that you hit the subscribe and like button. We've got a lot of work to do. Let's get started.